Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pack Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacino. So, over the weekend had the delivery numbers come out, which they beat. We had the gap up today, bullish response, but then bearish all day long. Some people say buy the rumor, sell the news. We got the gap up still. But this was horribly bearish price action. And now a lower RSI reading on the daily with a higher open and a higher high. I'm just checking out. I forgot to look at the end of the day option volume. The morning was pretty pathetic. It picked up. We got 800s at the 800 strike for this is the October 8th. We had 108,000. 69,000 of the 820s. Sorry if my voice sort of fades away. I have a bunch of monitors here, and I'm looking at one over my shoulder. And then 52,000 of the 850s, and still, I mean, that's pretty decent and could not get anything going. That is a very bearish outcome to me. Again, I need it to really close below the daily rotation zone before I get full-blown bearish. But this was a bearish price action. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, especially with this another potential divergence. So each push up is getting weaker and weaker, and there's still tons of selling pressure up here. So here's the intraday price action. We had, by the way, this was not a double top. Let me show you, though, straight off. When it gets a reversal, again, we had another push up. So right off the bat, coming from the low from Friday, and then pushing up, didn't get up to that 807.50 when it can't even get up to the first level, and we get a divergence and then a sell-off. That is not a good sign. That means it can't even hit the 12.5% first harmonic, which is very, very weak. Now, I want to remind everybody, this is what prevented me from getting bullish at all today. So my little thing with the harmonics and the retracements, Friday's closed the high. So we pulled back. Oops, I put them on backwards. Silly me. It doesn't really matter since there are 12.5% increments, so it's roughly the same. It's just easier so people don't. So we came back down 37.5%, catching on there, rotating up. Then we had that divergence. Couldn't get to the first harmonic. That's when you raise it, though. Remember to keep trailing this. We had a pretty decent gap, so I make sure I update this. Here was the 62.5. So again, we came back down, holding between that 50 and the 62. So the 50 was right about 791. The 62 was 787, roughly. 780. Yeah, 786.98 or something, but 787. You can see here holding that critical area. So I was watching again to see if I had this. Let me zoom in. I was watching this little resistance shelf, seeing if we could get a move above there, because that would have triggered a bullish, at least a short-term bullish entry for me. Came back down, did not get it. Closing right here below 62.5. But everything bullish was off the table then for me, because I'm watching for the gap fill. The probabilities on this close favored the gap fill, so it really prevented me from getting into a bullish mode the rest of the day. Even with the increased options, I was keeping an eye on it, especially with some of these little moves in here, but it could not get anything going. Coming from that high, Here was your first little area, which then gave this really nice harmonic right here, this 783 level. Bouncing off that, returning to the prior support area, becoming resistance with the declining rotation zone, then selling off again. Got another question intraday. Let me take this off real quick. Between this bar and this bar, which pausing bar to use? Well, I'm going to show you two things. First off, again, we're using these as zones, not exact lows. So if you went to this one, you know your next zone was 779, then 776. If you did go to this pausing bar, again, your 770 slightly lower, 779.39, 776.33, but we're not trying to hit things exactly. Why did I use this pausing bar? Sure, to longer term members, which I am greatly, I'm very, very thankful for everybody who subscribed, for the Buy Me Coffee donations, for the Patreon donations, for the comments, for the likes. You know, I'm thrilled. Thank you for all. If you're new here, please consider supporting the channel even by just subscribing. Longer term members, really thank you. I do put a lot of effort and my heart and soul into this to try to help people become better investors and traders. Why is this the level? Again, because that's the 15-minute pausing bar. Go up in the time frame. The 5-minute was still here. Now, if you did the other one, fine. You know, again, these are giving you areas to watch for reversals. You can see we paused there at 779 and 776.64, coming back down there and then getting a little sharp reversal, sideways move, catches my eyes. Then we had this little push up. We came back. Remember, you can use the old harmonics levels as targets on the way back up because it tends to trade between them. We didn't get the full gap fill either, but we did get that nice little reversal. And then it ran out of momentum again, even with those options going off this afternoon. So, lots of bearish price action. By the way, here's what I'm going into tomorrow watching. We have this little mini double bottom. So, it's a small little thing, but I'm keeping an eye on this high right here from Chicago time 245 bar. That high 782.47, getting a close above there, 784.71, 785.82, 786.94. That coming in with that harmonic, that 62.5 from that gap move. So that's going to be key tomorrow, and then that's the upside. The first thing, if we get above there, then let me pull these off. Then I'm watching this area right here. Let me bump down this. Let me show you the next key area I'm watching. Right in here. So you see the support here, resistance here, resistance here. So about 788.30 area. That's my next area I'm watching. A close above that, then I'm going to 792.25, this little resistance thing. Above there, then I'm going to do the projections, but roughly I'll be watching 800 to 801 and then about 806.50. Those are the key upside game plan for tomorrow. First little minor support is the 777.85 area. You see that formed as double. Below there, 776.17, but that's minor. These line up really nice. So you see this little over here to the left, this little resistance becoming support. So that's support. Now we have a harmonic, 772.35. So that's a key area. If we break down below that 776.17, then 768.53 right near these little lows. Okay, so those are my levels to the downside. Let's take a look here. Not much to do with the hour. 4 hour, we're just looking for other things. So that 768.50 area, I'd watch that. I'd watch on a closing basis around 770, but on a low basis around 768.50 in case we spike down there. I want to see. That's the 4 hour rotation zone, so that's key. We start breaking that below down there, 759.24, then 754.83. Let's see how that comes in on the daily. I would watch, oops, sorry, got a little too crazy. I would watch this bottom of the daily rotation zone. So my target that I'm really going to be focused on a bigger sell-off tomorrow is about 759.60 to 760. That's my target that has to hold. So those are upside and downside key levels. Again, the options were pretty good. So there's trying to juice this thing higher. It's just not sticking. There's been selling pressure since our 2-day pretty strong move from a week ago Friday, and then Monday, and then it hasn't done anything even with those delivery numbers. Bearish price action overall. Sum it up again, if we get below that daily rotation zone, I'm watching for a pullback to the bottom of this channel. I'm waiting for the confirmation though. Even though there's bearish price action, why am I still waiting for the confirmation? Because there's still a ton of option volume going off. And that can literally, if it gets an igniting move and the selling up here subsides, it's a rip your face off move. That's why I'm waiting for that confirmation and not trying to front run it to the downside. I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.